Okay, I think I got this to work. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we're set. We're set. Let's go. Oh wait, hold on. How do I do this? I'm getting it. Okay. Can everyone? I think people can hear me. Do this. Do that. Okay. We've got a lot to talk about. First off, Montez Sweat. That's pretty big. I know I'm wearing the Chase Young jersey right now. It's kind of big, this one. But the Montez Sweat trade happened about an hour, maybe, was it 2 hours ago? Or maybe a little bit more than maybe 3 hours ago. But Montez Sweat traded to the Chicago Bears for a 2024 second round pick. It's the Bears owned 2024 second round pick. We'll get more into this when David comes on in a little bit, Miller Football. But my first impressions of it, great trade from Josh Harris. Great trade overall. We had I know there's a lot of things with Ron Rivera maybe not wanting to do this stuff, and kind of it's going to be Josh Harris who's going to be taking over and going to be making these trades, because again, why would Ron Rivera make a trade like this when it's not like going to help his team and help his chances of keeping his job, right? Because again, you trade away, you build for the future for the 2024 draft. That's not really what Ron Rivera wants to do, right? Ron Rivera, he wants to keep his job right now. He's kind of thinking 1 week at a time right now, just trying to survive to the next week with this team, and trading away one of your best players for a draft pick that Ron Rivera might not even be on the team for in a few months. I think again, it's not one of his moves. It's Josh Harris's really first kind of shadow GM move as the owner of this team. I know last night, 2 a.m., he went over to Philadelphia and he was wheeling, dealing in Philadelphia, trading James Harden away to the Los Angeles Clippers. And today he continued to be busy. He really did, because you had Montez Sweat now being traded from Washington to the Chicago Bears. There's been a lot of talk right now about possibly Chase Young being traded to a team like the New England Patriots, maybe, as the Patriots are interested in them, and some other teams right now. So the Patriots are definitely one that could happen. And also, I think there was another team I saw that was a little bit possibly interested in. The Ravens, I think, were a team that's also interested in Chase Young. The Bears were a team that were interested in Chase Young, as before they went over and traded away Montez Sweat, they were kind of going over both trades for Sweat and Chase Young. So the Bears, again, it'd be the funniest thing ever for Ryan Poles to do. But the Bears could go and trade for Chase Young. They'd have to give up a draft pick. Maybe it would be like a 2025 first rounder, and it'd be the Panthers' first rounder or something like that, because I don't think they're going to give up a first round pick this year for him, because both of those picks are going to be in the top 10. Not sure if they value him that high. So that could be something that happens. I know Jacoby Brissett is in a bunch of trade talks right now. We look at some teams that could be interested in him. I think number one right now, the Cleveland Browns, the team that he played for last season, was brought in, and during Deshaun Watson's suspension through that 11-game stretch, he played pretty well. So that's also a guy that could be wanting to maybe do something. Like, could be an option for them to trade away. I'm looking. Oh, we have breaking news. The Washington Commanders are trading Chase Young to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not making this up. This Ian Rappaport, former number 2 overall pick, Commanders defensive end Chase Young, is being traded to the San Francisco 49ers, likely a mid-round pick in 2024. So the Washington Commanders have traded away. Wow. Wow. I'm stunned right now. Chase Young is being traded. Chase Young has just been traded to the San Francisco 49ers, likely going to be a mid-round pick. So that means that Washington is going to get a higher pick for Montez Sweat than they are for Chase Young. This is insane right now. I don't really know what to say. A mid-round pick in 2024 for Chase Young. Kyle Shanahan has just cooked up. It's a third-round pick. It's a third-round pick. Wow. For a conditional, pending a physical. Wow. Montez Sweat traded to the Bears a few hours ago. Chase Young just traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a conditional third-round pick pending his physical. This is crazy. This is we have David Miller coming on in like 5, maybe 10 minutes to talk about the Montez Sweat trade, but wow. So Washington and Josh Harris have traded away their top 2 edge rushers in a matter of hours. This is setting the standard now for basically what his process is. We saw the process that went down in Philadelphia for the Philadelphia 76ers. Trust the process. That's all what Josh Harris, Joel Embiid, throughout all of that, that's what they were saying. And now it's pretty clear what Josh Harris's plan is here to do now. He's going to bring the process from Philadelphia to Washington. So they're trading away their superstars, right, for draft picks, and they try and use those draft picks to now draft players, I guess. But now you trade away your top 2 edge rushers. You're going to have to use one of those picks now on an edge rusher. Wow. Young trade. I am stunned. I'm stunned right now. I didn't actually think they're going to do it. And yet, Chase Young, the man of jersey I'm wearing right now, Chase Young is a San Francisco 49er. Wow. I am stunned. So Jacoby Brissett, a guy who a lot of people were saying he was okay. Sorry, I'm like processing a whole lot right now. Jacoby Brissett, it sounded like what he was going to be traded first before Chase Young, and now Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch swoop in with under 90 minutes to go until the deadline, and they trade for the former 2022 second overall pick, the former defensive rookie of the year in 2020. And they trade him, they get him for less than the Bears got for Montez Sweat. And not even that, but it's going to be a third-round pick from the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a late third-round pick, too. So, and not only is it going to be a late third-round pick, but if Washington were to lose Chase Young in free agency, it was going to be they're probably going to get a conditional third-round pick back. So really, by trading Montez Sweat to the 49ers, you're going to only move up like 15 spots in the draft. This is absurd. This is I am stunned right now. A third-round pick was all it took for Chase Young. Wow. So this defensive line that had 4 first-round picks coming into this season, basically Jay Gruden building through the draft, selecting 4 defensive linemen in the first round, 4 straight years, trading up for Montez Sweat back in 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019, trading up for him in that draft. And now Montez Sweat and Chase Young, one of them you trade up for. One of them was a top 2 pick in the draft. Neither of them are getting second contracts with this team. This is I mean, Grant Paulson just tweeted, this is a franchise-altering day in Washington. A third-round pick for Chase Young. A second-round pick for Montez Sweat. And you got to wonder, you trade away both of these guys, who's next? Jacoby Brissett has to be gone at this point, right? And again, Cam Curl, contract ending after the season. Kendall Fuller, contract ending after the season. Washington had 20-plus guys coming into this, coming into week one with expiring contracts at the end of the season. They are going into full rebuild mode now. A rebuild that started back in 2019, but never actually hit the rebuild stage. Josh Harris is blowing it all up, which is a good thing, at this point, right? But Josh Harris is now blowing it all up, trading away Montez Sweat, now trading away Chase Young, and Washington in return is getting a second-round pick and a third-round pick for two guys that it took 2 second-round picks just to trade up for Montez Sweat. Now they're getting a second-round pick in return. That was fine. Great move by Washington. But now Chase Young getting traded for a third-round pick. I am stunned. You now look at San Francisco. Nick Bosa on one side. You have Javon Hargrave inside. Eric Armstead still in there on the inside as well. Chase Young on the other side across from Nick Bosa. This is unbelievable. Chase Young has had a top 4 pass rushing season this year. He's had the best he was on pace to have the best season of his career this season. And he coming off that injury that destroyed his leg. He comes in and I mean, I don't really know what to say at this point. Washington will play host to the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what I just did. On New Year's Eve. But I'm stunned right now. Chase Young, okay. Ken Johansson just tweeted, right now the San Francisco 49ers have the 87th overall pick with that third-round pick. You're trading away Chase Young, a guy you selected second overall, for the 87th overall pick. I'm hoping right now, like crazy, we see another notification from Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter saying that it's more than just a third-round pick, because this is unbelievable. A third-round pick for a guy. I mean, how about this trade deadline? Like, not many believe that stuff was going to go down this one. I know, because last year's trade deadline was absolutely wild. Calvin Ridley trade, some more other massive trades that I'm just forgetting off the top of my head. But, yeah. And I didn't think this one was going to be that crazy, but man, the Washington Commanders are in the center of this trade deadline, and they are selling off their players. At this point, if we are going full rebuild mode, Jacoby Brissett better not be on the Washington Commanders past 4 p.m. today. Antonio Gibson probably should not be on the Washington Commanders past 4 p.m. today. Kendall Fuller probably should not be on the Washington Commanders past 4 p.m. today. So, and then like guys like Curtis Samuel, who has his contract expiring after this year, we're probably not going to re-sign him. He'll probably be gone. The Washington Commanders are in full rebuild mode, and now you have to wonder. You trade away Montez Sweat, you trade away Chase Young, two guys that were leaders on that defense. You have to start wondering about Terry McLaurin at this point, because Terry McLaurin on that 3-year, $72 million extension, he's on the first year of that. I think it was $72 million, might be a little bit off there, but it was about that. Yeah, it's I am stunned right now. Cam Curl just tweeted bruh, and I am with him. I am with him, because this is wild. Hold on, let me update the that traded. This is wild. Don't really know how don't really have any more words. The 49ers defensive line now includes Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, Drake Jackson, Randy Gregory, Javon Kinlaw, he's not that great, but Randy Gregory, a guy that they traded for as well. So the 49ers are going all in, bringing in Chase Young, bringing in Randy Gregory at the trade deadline in hopes to boost this team. I am stunned right now. Cam Curl is stunned. I am with him. Yeah. They fill this team to be a real winner in 2 years or less. Get a real quarterback. Look, this team isn't going to compete in 2 years. I mean, this team has the talent to compete in 2 years, but like, is it? Do we have the quarterback? I mean, Sam Howell, he played great last week against Philadelphia. He was at one point 24 of 26, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns at one point in that game against one of the top defenses in the NFL, a Super Bowl contending defense. I think Sam Howell is who Washington has been looking for. Sam Howell is playing the best out of any Washington quarterback since Kirk Cousins. Like, think about it. Washington's 14 different quarterbacks since Kirk Cousins or whatever number that is now. Sam Howell has played the best out of any one of them. And Howell has played like a franchise quarterback. I know you look at it, 5th round pick, right? 5th round pick quarterbacks don't usually do good in the NFL. But I mean, he's playing like there's games where he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I don't really know what else to say. There's games where he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I know there's other games where he's playing like a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. But as of right now, I believe in Sam Howell being the guy for the future. I think Josh Harris, it'll be interesting to see if he believes the same. I think Ron Rivera, Eric Bieniemy, they believe in Sam Howell. Will both of them be there after this season? I have no clue. That's all on Josh Harris and them. But, I mean, taking a look at it, like Sam Howell, it'll be interesting to see. Washington now has the draft capital to trade up in the draft for a guy like Drake May, maybe, or Quinn Ewers early in the draft, or like a Michael Penix if they want to go an older guy. Again, I think they really want to go younger. So I feel like they had traded for a guy like Drake May probably. But like they have a first, they got 2 seconds, 2 thirds now. Yeah, Ian Rappaport saying it's looking like a full reset for Washington, which it's going to be interesting. But now with Chase Young and Montez Sweat, both of them traded. We got Casey may have been the best, but he's not the guy. I mean, again, that's your opinion. I think again, you're gonna play Sam throughout the rest of the season, right? And so again, throughout the rest of the season, if he plays well, then he could be the guy. Like if he plays again, he's the rest of the season to try out for the starting job next season. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Sam Howell right now. But I kind of want to talk about the depth of this Commanders defensive end of these defensive ends, because you got Casey Toohill and James Smith-Williams, or Casey Toohill and Efe Obada starting now, which Efe Obada, I mean, he hasn't really played a lot this season, but going into the season, I thought he was one of the more underrated players on this team, because Obada was making plays left and right towards the end of last season when, especially at the beginning of last season too, when Chase Young didn't really come back until the second half. But also 2 younger guys too, 2 guys that you just drafted in 2022. Both of them will be active on Sunday. At least one of them will, because KJ Henry has yet to be activated in an NFL game yet. Maybe he was activated in one. I highly doubt it. But, KJ Henry, the 5th round pick, a guy that Ron Rivera traded up for and has yet to play meaningful snaps in the NFL. He's going to be getting his opportunity. Andre Jones, a 7th round pick, not many believed would make this roster. Made this roster, and not only made this roster, but is actually active on game day. One of your best players from this last draft is your 7th round pick, which again says a lot about how this team drafts, how this management drafts, and how good they are at drafting. But like Andre Jones is going to get his opportunity outside on the edge. KJ Henry will get his opportunity outside on the edge. You're going to see a lot more of Efe Obata, a guy that can play both inside and outside. That's also a guy that can play. That's going to get a lot more playing time. There's a lot of stuff happening in Washington. We're 1 hour and 7 minutes away. 1 hour, 6 minutes away from the trade deadline. The Washington Commanders have traded so far today. They have traded Montez Sweat for a 2nd round pick, a high 2nd round pick to the Chicago Bears. That happened at about 11:30 a.m. this morning, maybe a little bit past that, but a little bit past 11:30 a.m. this morning. And the second trade that just went down about 20 or so minutes ago right now. About 20 or so minutes ago, the Washington Commanders traded away former number 2 overall pick, Chase Young, to the San Francisco 49ers for a 3rd round pick. So as you can see, Ron Rivera does not have any more say on this team. He does not have any more say on how this team rebuilds. I'll be interested to see how he's going to go into his presser tomorrow. I believe he has a presser tomorrow, if not after the trade deadline today, which will be really interesting to see what happens. Will we hear from Josh Harris? I highly doubt it, but that could be interesting if we hear from him at some point over the course of this next week, because again, he's the one making these trades. It's not Ron Rivera at this point. It's not Martin Mayhew at this point. It's Josh Harris. Josh Harris is the one making these trades, sending these trades all in. Washington has yet to officially announce either one of these trades, but it is interesting to watch. I guess the Vikings announced that Jaron Hall is starting against the Falcons this week, but yeah, I'm kind of just waiting for more trades to come in. Let's talk about some of the other ones for a little bit. We have the Ezra Cleveland trade to the Ezra Cleveland trade to Jacksonville. Kind of all right. Ezra Cleveland's going to learn a lot from Brandon Scherf. Basically that's all right. Plus Kevin Byard a few days ago, maybe was it a little more than a week ago, traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Other ones from today, Josh Dobbs getting sent to the Minnesota Vikings for a late round draft pick. We'll see if that influences how much Jacoby Brissett will be traded for, if he'll be traded before the deadline. I think it'll be interesting to see. I'm wondering again, maybe Logan Thomas. Could Logan Thomas get traded before the deadline? He wouldn't be for much, but I think Washington is really right now having a fire sale. We are about just over an hour away from the NFL trade deadline. Chase Young has been traded for a 3rd round pick. Montez Sweat has been traded to Chicago for a 2nd round pick. It's as a Washington fan, it's a lot to process, to take in. This team is now officially going into that rebuild stage, with no more Chase Young, no more Montez Sweat, and now we're waiting to see if Jacoby Brissett gets traded, even, or a guy like Logan Thomas or Curtis Samuel could all get traded. But now, the only plus out of this so far is, let's see if we can get Josh Taylor in here real quick. But yeah, the only plus out of this so far is that there's going to be a whole lot of cap space this offseason. Cam Curl must be re-signed. If you're not going to re-sign Montez Sweat and Chase Young, and you're going to trade those guys away, Cam Curl is a must to re-sign. You have to re-sign him. Kendall Fuller, I wouldn't say he's a must to re-sign, especially if you're going through a rebuilding process, a real rebuilding process. But he also is going to be a guy that I'd keep an eye on. Some other dudes that are free agents. I know we have a lot. Oh, yeah. Every single edge rusher is a free agent. We talked already about Montez Sweat and Chase Young, both of them being traded. What about a guy like F.A. Obata? What about Casey Tuahill? Both of those guys are going to be free agents. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Jeremy Reeves stunned right now as well. I think many players are stunned right now. Wait, so the Commanders aren't even getting. They're not okay. The Commanders aren't even getting a third-round pick from the 49ers. They are getting a compensatory third-round pick from the 49ers. So not only is it going to be towards the end of the draft, it's going to be at the the end of the round, not at the end of the draft. It's going to be towards the very end of the draft. Like very, very not I can't say end of the draft, end of the round. It's going to be in like the 100s. Not even like 60 or not whatever they had 87 or something like that. It's not even going to be pick 87. It's going to be pick like 102. So you're telling me Washington traded the second overall pick back in 2020 for the 102nd pick, probably, or something like that. Okay. So Chase Young needed to be traded, right? Well, I wouldn't say he needed to be traded. He either needed to be extended or traded, or I was really fine with either. If you couldn't extend him, then trade him for something, right? But trading him for the 100th pick or something like that is kind of wild. Like I don't really know what to say. It's and not even is it a compensatory, but it's a conditional third round pick too. And it's on him passing his physical. RBT, the YouTuber, he just put it into Madden, the draft pick, the trade third round pick for Chase Young. The trade interest level was like this big. So it just, I mean, again, Madden can't really say anything, but like this is bad. This is bad. And again, you trade away both of them, Chase Young and Montez Sweat. That's now saying you're going complete rebuild, right? So I'd be shocked if Washington doesn't make another move before the 4 p.m. deadline. We have 1 hour until the 4 p.m. deadline. I'd be shocked if that doesn't happen. Hold on, let me send the link. All right. I'd be shocked if I'd be shocked if Washington doesn't make another move before the 4 p.m. deadline. Whether it be Jacoby Brissett being traded. I know Washington was trying to get a day 2 pick from him, which is absolutely wild. If Josh Harris somehow got a third round pick or a second round pick for Jacoby Brissett, that'd be insane. I doubt it happens, but we have another trade. The Lions are acquiring Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Cleveland Browns. Okay, whatever. Not really anything big. But again, it's Jacoby Brissett, if he gets traded, I'd expect him to go to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, they trade away Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions just like a minute ago. I don't know if that means, I haven't really looked at Donovan Peoples-Jones' contract, but are they opening up contract space for a guy like Jacoby Brissett? I know we saw Josh Dobbs get traded to Minnesota for a 6th, 7th round pick swap, which again doesn't really give you a lot of promising stuff from for the possible Jacoby Brissett trade. But I mean, so we'll see what happens. I expect Jacoby Brissett to not be on this team in 1 hour from now. I expect Antonio Gibson to possibly not be on this team in 1 hour from now. A guy like Kendall Fuller, I could see him being moved. Just throw Emmanuel Forbes into throw him into the game. throw him to the Wolves, and just let him play out all the struggles, right? Because this team is it's pretty clear this team is tanking right now, and if they can get a somewhat good first round pick, like somewhat good, somewhere in the top 10 maybe, plus you have the Bears pick at the beginning of the second round, you're gonna have your pick at the beginning of the second round, you're gonna have your pick at the beginning of the third round, and then you're gonna have basically a late third and then an early first from yourself. So that's like that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. Wait, wait, 4 picks within the top 6. Wait, yeah, 4 picks within the top like 70, plus a 5th pick around the 100 mark. That's not horrible. Like saying it out loud, it's not horrible. The Browns are trading Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions. It's going to be a 6th round pick that they're going to get in return. I think the GM announced it during his press conference, so that's a little bit funny. But 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, 3 in the top 50. You've got Payne and Allen right now on long-term deals. It seems like I don't know. Deanna Rossini is saying this is like thrilled right now, but how Michael Phillips, one of the beat reporters, saying the Niners, if you combine the Trent Williams and the Chase Young trade, the Niners are getting Trent Williams, number 4th overall pick back long time ago. Chase Young, 2nd overall pick back in 2020. And in return, Washington got 2 third rounders and a 5th rounder. So that just shows how it just shows how poor Washington was at trading 2 absolute superstars at their positions. Trent Williams at the time was the best offensive tackle in the league. Chase Young is having the best season of his career right now in terms of pressures, in terms of sacks, and what he's on pace for. So we'll see what happens. I hope Chase Young has a incredible career in San Francisco, whether it just be for the next 8 games in the playoffs and then leaves in free agency. Maybe he comes back in free agency. I don't know, but that'd be pretty interesting. Because you look at San Francisco, they can't pay everyone, right? You've got Nick Bosa, who's on a long-term deal, I believe. You've got some of the other younger guys across, especially on the interior defensive line, that is going to be that need to be paid soon. And then you've got Chase Young now, who's going to need to be paid like soon. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. The last 4 hours for Washington fans has been an absolute roller coaster. We saw Montez Sweat get traded back at 11:30 a.m. It was all right, expected, right? You trade away one of them, you're probably not going to trade away the other, right? Because you now can pay that other guy long term. You can pay Chase Young long term, and then the absolute stunner came about 30 minutes ago, maybe a little bit longer than 30 minutes ago. I want to say, just came just about 30 minutes ago when the Washington Commanders traded away Chase Young to the San Francisco 49ers for a 3rd round pick. It's kind of scary going into a rebuild like this, but we'll have to wait and see. We're gonna have David Miller, a big time Bears fan, come on, talk about his reaction to the Montez Sweat trade in about 5 minutes. So I know he was running a little bit late, but he'll be coming on in about 5 minutes. We're probably gonna go to about like 3:45 around there. I think most of the trades for the day will probably be done around there. I do expect Washington to make another trade before the deadline. I don't have any inside sources. I'm just saying at this point, when you trade Montez Sweat and Chase Young, trading Jacoby Brissett right now is like not even a lot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I expect Jacoby Brissett to be gone in Cleveland, back in Cleveland by 4 p.m. today. I expect possibly another guy to get traded, whether it be Antonio Gibson, Kendall Fuller. It sounded like there was some interest in a guy like Antonio Gibson around the league. I know that the Patriots were interested in Chase Young. Chase Young did not end up going to the Patriots. The 49ers seemed like they outbid the Patriots. But, it'd be crazy at this point to trade Montez Sweat, to trade Chase Young, and to not trade anyone else. Because the Washington Commanders right now are in the middle of selling off everyone, it seems like. A lot of their superstars. Again, if you didn't hear me say this earlier, but the Commanders have 20-plus free agents hitting the market in 2024. 20-plus. Not only is it Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but it's guys like Cam Curl, Kendall Fuller, Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel. The list goes on and on. Every single one of their edge rushers has an expiring contract in 2024. F.A. Obata, Casey Toohill, James Smith-Williams, all those guys, their contracts expire at the end of not at the end of 2024, at the beginning of 2024 after this season. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if you're trading Chase Young, if you're trading away Montez Sweat, you better be trading away some of the other guys that you don't have. Some other guys that are also have expiring contracts at the end of the year, because right now it is looking grim in Washington. It sounds like Josina Anderson saying that the Ravens are still trying to trade for someone. Could it be a wide? If they're trying to trade for a wide receiver, I doubt it. But I think they were interested in a wide receiver. They could be in the market for maybe Terry McLaurin. I highly doubt Washington would trade a leadership guy like that, but that could be something. But I would say more likely, if they're looking for a running back, Antonio Gibson kind of fits that mold. He can be elusive. He can fit outside wide receiver, inside running back. We'll have to wait and see. But I think Antonio Gibson to Baltimore could definitely be something that happens within the next few minutes. So within the hour probably. But yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if you're trading away all these guys, right? Ron Rivera definitely not in the loop with this. I mean, he's in the loop, but it's not Ron Rivera's decision, right? We can all agree it's Josh Harris's decision to make all these trades and to send off Sweat, Young, because this isn't making the team better right now. This is making the team worse right now, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what if Ron Rivera even stays past this week, I would say, because you're trading away two guys on the defense, two guys that he hold on. Did we get another thing? I don't think. Okay. I thought we had another trade, but no. Yeah, we're trading away two superstars. I mean, Rivera he's how much do you want to suffer under Rivera for the rest of the season? That's what I'm asking this Washington team. How much do you want to suffer? Because we're not going to be winning games now. We're not going to be winning games. You have okay, yeah, David's getting on soon. You have guys like F.A. Obata, James Smith-Williams, Casey Toohill now starting at edge rusher. Like, you're not going to be creating a bunch of pass rush with that, with Casey Toohill and James Smith-Williams. I think good opportunities for them, right? To, again, both of them are free agents after this season. Same with F.A. Obata. You're going to have some guys that are be getting new opportunities. You're going to have the young guys. You're going to have KJ Henry, Andre Jones. Those guys will be getting opportunities at edge rusher, at pass rusher for this season or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, KJ Henry out of Clemson, 5th round pick, a guy that Ron Rivera traded up for in the draft. Then you have Andre Jones, a guy in the 7th round. He was kind of a project guy. Not many people believe that Andre Jones was going to make the 53-man roster at the end of training camp, and he did. Not only did he make the 53-man roster, but he is higher in the depth chart than the guy that they drafted above him in KJ Henry. That's a guy that is set to make an impact for the second half of the season. This team is not going to be winning games. We look at their schedule. I mean, I've already talked about the schedule on the podcast already, but again, we can look at it. Hold on, bringing it up. You got the Patriots on Sunday, right? A team that really knows how to play well defensively against younger quarterbacks. You got something that Bill Belichick has always done well. And you're playing at Foxborough. It's going to be a tough one, especially without a pass rush on Mac Jones. Then Seattle, without a pass rush against Geno Smith, that's going to be tough as well. And Seattle, again, you got two great tackles in Abe Lucas and Charles Cross as well in Seattle. So, again, both of those games going to be super tough. And especially the 4 of the last, I would even say every single team that Washington plays for the rest of the season, besides the New York Giants, has a shot at the playoffs or is in the playoff hunt right now. They are competing. You've got the Seahawks, the Cowboys twice, the Dolphins. They're fighting for the 1 seed, right? You've got the Jets, who, again, an embarrassment last Sunday against the Giants. But the Jets, with that defense, they will be contenders for the playoffs. You've got the 49ers. Chase Young's return to Washington on Sunday, December 31st. That will be one to watch. I'm excited for it. We'll see if Chase Young is healthy for that game. Again, Chase Young still needs to pass his physical in San Francisco if he gets traded. Like, he still has to do the stuff. Jeff Simon. I don't know. Wait. I think. Okay. I don't know if this is. Wait, no. Never mind. Okay, that was not real. That was a fake account. Okay. I thought I read something, but that was a fake account. Yeah, I'm just like continuing refreshing Twitter here because we're getting updates like to the minute. We are 46 minutes away from the trade deadline. So far, Washington has traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young for a second-round pick from Chicago and a third-round pick, a compensatory third-round pick from the San Francisco 49ers. Some other trades that have happened. I know this is mostly a Washington podcast, but some other trades that have went down. Most recently, Donovan Peoples-Jones going from Cleveland to Detroit for a 6th-round pick. Could that possibly open up some cap space for Cleveland to bring in a guy like Jacoby Brissett to be their quarterback while Deshaun Watson is injured? I don't know. Maybe that could work. Josh Dobbs being sent from Arizona to Minnesota with a 7th-round pick. As there's a little pick swap. Arizona gets Minnesota's 6th-round pick this year, and Minnesota gets Josh Dobbs and Arizona's 7th-round pick this year. Some other trades that went down. Ezra Cleveland went to the Jaguars for a 6th-round pick, and I think that was it. Again, we'll wait to see if something happens with Jalen Johnson. Late last night, around midnight, 1 a.m., Jalen Johnson requested a trade from the Chicago Bears. We'll talk with David Miller in a second about that. But yeah, Contavious Street and a 7th-round pick went to Atlanta for a 6th-round pick. That's not really that big, but yeah, we'll wait to see what happens. Again, Kevin Byard was traded to Philadelphia a few days ago. We'll see what happens, but yeah, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, the two big trades so far. This trade deadline has been centered around the Washington Commanders. I'm wearing the Chase Young jersey, no longer in Washington. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. Sometimes you got to just rip the Band-Aid off. That's exactly what Josh Harris is doing. Trading away Chase Young, a guy who was supposed to be that franchise guy at edge rusher. Trading away Montez Sweat, a guy who has been a great compliment to Chase Young and has been playing the same level throughout his 4 years, if not better than that. Yeah, but Washington trading away 2 of their edge rushers. Could there be more? I expect there to be more. I don't have any inside info, but by trading away Chase Young and Montez Sweat, I expect that Washington will either trade away Jacoby Brissett or someone else within the next 45 minutes. We are counting down to the NFL trade deadline. I'm probably going to go until like 3:50 around there, 3:55, and then I got to head off and do something. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens over these next 45 minutes. We have David Miller coming on pretty soon. I think he was stuck in traffic or something, so we'll wait and see what happens if he joins up. But well, we're going to get his reaction on the Montez Sweat trade. We're also going to be getting his reaction on Jalen Johnson's trade request from Chicago, and also basically what he wants his team to do within these next 45 minutes. Because again, Chicago, a team that is very controversial. Ryan Poles, is he doing a great job there? Is he not doing a great job there? You kind of like, it's been really up in the air, really like, I don't know. It's been a big controversy what's happening over there in Chicago. Most recent trade in the trade deadline, again, being Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Browns to the Lions. Looks like we're hitting a little bit of a dead point right now, but again, I don't expect Washington to be done. I expect either Jacoby Brissett to be sent to Cleveland. I guess we'll take a look at Donovan Peoples-Jones like contract, because this could be hold on. This could, if this opens up some contract space, let's see. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he has a $2.7 million cap hit. Jacoby Brissett, I think is a little bit more. His cap hit is $8 million. The Browns, hold on. The Browns have, how do I see this? I think the Browns have a certain amount of money left. The Browns have. Hold on. I lost suspense. Okay, I can't see it for some reason. I can't find it. But the Browns have. Oh, I got it. Okay. Let's see. They have. They currently have 163 million. Oh, what's up? Okay, we got him. Welcome to one of the craziest deadlines in Washington history. It's been a wild 3 hours. Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on. All right. In the meantime, no. In the meantime, again, Josh Harris, within the last 24 hours, has traded away not only Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but he's traded away James Harden. He's also traded away James Harden, PJ Tucker, and all those other dudes in that 76ers trade over the night. But it's been a while. Hold on. Okay. All right, he's gone. All right, well, he'll come back in a second. It's crazy. Casey Toohill is now the best defensive end. Oh, John Kime saying Washington is done with trades. We have breaking news. John Kime reporting that Washington is done with trades. So you're telling me Washington just went ahead, traded away Chase Young and Montez Sweat to rebuild, and they're not doing anything else? Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is still going to be on the Washington Commanders. I'm stunned. Yep.
Are we good now?
We're good now.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard, but John Kine reporting that Washington is done with trades for the trade deadline. So they traded away Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Jacoby Brissett remains a Washington Commander. Antonio Gibson, Kendall Fuller, Cam Curl all remain Washington Commanders past the trade deadline.
Was there a lot of talk about Fuller or Curl getting traded?
There wasn't a ton, but it seemed really that it was up in the air at that point. Like with Sweat and Young both getting sent and shipped off, there was really a period where it felt like anyone could get traded, even like guys.
Straight up fire sale, yeah.
Straight up fire sale. So again, all right, 11:30 a.m. this morning, we had a little trade that went down between our two teams. What are your first thoughts? Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears for a second round pick.
So initially I was stoked because obviously Chicago's pass rush is non-existent. And not only that, but Montez is arguably the best run defending edge rusher in football, which God love it. I mean, there is nothing I love more than an edge that knows how to set the edge.
Right.
And Montez does that better than anybody else, right? So I was stoked. And then the Chase Young trade came out and he only went for a third. And which, by the way, I'm so sorry. And I'm still not like heartbroken because I understand why Young went for less than Sweat. It's the medicals. It's, we don't know if the Niners are going to keep him after this year, all that kind of stuff. So I get it, but it still stings, you know, like Sweat's better right now. You're trading for proven talent, but Chase Young's 3 years younger. His upside is way higher. And Chicago, they're obviously not competing right now. You know, you want the guy that's going to be better down the line. Not to say that Sweat can't be around for a couple years. He's what, 27? So you'll get like 4 to 5 years out of him if you can extend him, or when you extend him. I can't imagine they'd trade for him thinking they wouldn't be able to. But I like the deal. I'm happy with it. It's better than letting him hit free agency because I highly doubt he'd pick to sign with Chicago if he had a choice.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I kind of feel a little bit bad for him because again, he's been losing his entire career. Now he goes to a Bears team where again he's 27, right? He's kind of at like the
Yeah.
peak of his career right now. He's about to hit that second half, and he's now on this Bears team who's also rebuilding. Which again, you guys are. I would say you're farther along in the rebuild process than we are in terms of how long you've been in it, and we're just hitting it. But still, you're not anywhere close to like.
No,
Yeah.
especially with Fields seeming like he's not the guy, that sets everything back at least 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. But you know what? Caleb Williams,
Caleb
whatever.
Williams.
If
Yep.
I still haven't watched the kid play, but if he's him, then
Yep.
who knows?
Caleb
Maybe
Williams.
Montez will be excited about
Yep.
that.
Yep. I'm excited. Caleb Williams to Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. It's gonna be incredible.
My God,
But
Caleb to
yeah.
Marvin and DJ would be God.
Mm-hmm.
It would make up for everything.
Yeah. Just that 1 year. Just yeah, that first touchdown would from Caleb to MHJ would be crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, Chase Young now not only is it a third round pick, but first of all, he has to pass his physical for it to be a third round pick. And then it's a compensatory third round pick too. It's not even like the 49ers own, but it's going to be one of the compensatory ones they're going to get for like D'Amico Ryans. And yeah,
that's tough. Is it are there any like I forget what's the word? Like any specialties or asterisks with the pick? What's the word? Why can I not think of the word?
Yeah, like any conditions to it. Well,
conditions. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. God,
the only thing was that like of course he has to pass his physical to
right.
be traded, and then also it's not really. It's going to be a compensatory pick. It's going to be wherever. I think it's probably going to be the better of their 2 third round compensatory picks, whether it be the one they got for D'Amico Ryans or the one that they got for some other dude that left.
So you're probably not getting a top 100 pick for Chase Young.
Yeah. That's
tough.
That's what I'm settling on. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Washington now.
I saw the one report about Josh Harris just not being able to afford extending either of them, which I guess is the one downfall to getting rid of Dan Snyder. But
I mean, he didn't have them enough money towards the end of it. He didn't have
enough
money.
True.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see that report that he didn't have enough money.
I'll have to find it and send it to you. I can't remember who tweeted it.
But yeah, I mean, Sweat being gone at first was like, okay, expected. And then this is truly a code red. Yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't really call it a true code red because like it again, you're only trading the 2 pass rushers, you're not trading Brissett or any other starters. So again, that's what's kind of messing me up right now is not exactly know where this plan is. Like, are we still aiming? Because we have the talent on the roster still to aim for the 7th seed in the NFC. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can totally see a world where we aim to try and sneak in as a wild card, even without Sweat and Young. But, I mean, we have too much talent on the roster to be horrible. Still, that's what's messing me up. Is I don't really know exactly where we stand with it. Still, I think if we trade away a guy I don't even know, like Jacoby Brissett, I guess. Even him, if we trade away him, then I would feel like, okay, we're really just riding on sand the rest of the way. But it's bittersweet. We lost the hometown kid, Chase Young, another starter Sweat. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to how this team performs in 2024. I'm gonna be honest, because we've got 20 free agents this upcoming offseason. It was a ton. Every single one of our edge rushers is a free agent.
By the way, who's starting now?
So now it's Casey Toohill, James Smith-Williams. Now, one thing I am excited for, we drafted 2 edge rushers. So I lied. Those 2 edge rushers, their contracts won't be expiring. But we drafted KJ Henry, traded up for him in the 5th round. But Andre Jones, who we drafted in the 7th round, is above him in the depth chart. So, like, we got those 2 guys who, again, KJ Henry hasn't even been activated yet. So we'll see what happens. But
So what I'm hearing is your edge rushers now are worse than what Chicago had going into today.
I wouldn't say who are your edge rushers again?
Yannick Ngakoue and DeMarcus Walker.
Okay, well, how's Ngakwe done? Because I know that was supposed to be like the big.
He has been not super productive,
No.
but it's also Ngakoue can't be a number one edge on a team.
Right.
So his production's gone down because teams are keying in on him, even though they're not. It's just like they're chipping him, and he's not the type of edge that can like beat a double team. So that's another thing with the Montez Sweat trade. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about is that's going to open up Ngakoue a little bit, and who knows, maybe he'll hit his 8 sack quota or whatever it is. But
yeah, I mean,
it's weird. I feel so weird about this trade. I'm happy about it, but I'm just Chase Young going for a third, dude.
Yeah,
I get it, but I also hate it.
Mm-hmm. And like again, so Montez, now that he's the edge rusher now, and he's without Payne, Allen, and Young, how is he going to do on his own?
It's okay. He's got Trevon Dexter.
He's got Trevon Dexter. That's my guy out of Florida. But he's now, I mean, what are we saying? Like probably 3 sacks the rest of the way. I mean, his production is definitely going to decrease, in my opinion, now that he's the number one guy.
Absolutely.
There's not really anyone else across the defensive front to be that guy. But I do think the numbers won't show it, but I do think he will open up the pass rush, like you said, for guys like Ngakoue, maybe even Trevon Dexter to get in the backfield. So we'll see what happens. But
in the run defense, the run defense is going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm weird, and that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about our pass rush this year because it is over. It does not matter. I'm just going to have fun watching him set the edge. That is all I care about for this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Bears team. It got better, I think. I don't know how much better. It's not going to make.
Listen, we've still got a half hour.
Yeah.
And number 33 is still up in the air, so we could get cataclysmically worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? I know you saw it like late last night, but we're now 30 minutes away. And usually when someone requests a trade this late, like this close to the deadline, under 24 hours or something, usually things don't get worked out in time. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, look, if we end up having to trade Jalen Johnson, you know I've been a big Poles guy. I've defended Poles up, down, left, right, every which way. Mm-hmm. If Jalen Johnson is not in a Chicago Bears uniform next year, all that goes out the window. I mean, this is way bigger than the Roquan Smith situation because Jalen Johnson's at a more premier position, is a more important player to this defense, and actually wants to be in Chicago. I feel like that's the part that everyone forgets about with Roquan Smith. He hated Chicago. He wanted out. That started months prior. You know, Ryan Poles said, hey, listen, we're not going to reset the market with you. And he said, okay, get me out of here. I have no interest. I don't want to be a Bear. I'm not going to play hard this year. Jalen Johnson's having a career year, and it took until the day before the trade deadline for him to be like, all right, I guess we're not going to work it out. Like last-ditch effort, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm terrified. I am absolutely terrified. I like some of the other pieces we have in our secondary, but losing a top 15 corner would suck, and it would suck hard. Poles needs to get this figured out because you have to be able to retain at least. Oh, Ian Rappaport, I love you.
What do you say?
Jalen
he's expected to stay as we were talking about
it. Praise Jesus. Oh my God. But no, Poles has to figure out how to retain homegrown talent. And the only player he's done that with so far is Cole Kmet. And I love that, by the way. I'm not going to be odd, but okay. Rasul Douglas to the Bills is what I just saw.
Rasul Douglas. All right.
But I'm happy with Cole Kmet. I'm happy they extended him, but he was somebody I don't think was ever going to leave Chicago. I don't think he born and raised right outside the city, grew up a Bears fan. You could tell that kid will give you $5 next year and he'd play for the team, right? Jalen, you have to actually work to extend because he's going to be a hot commodity and another team will want him. Obviously, there was a lot of trade interest. So they got to get this done. And now they have the back half of the season to do that, which thank God. I've heard reports that his initial asking price was $23 million per year, which is a lot. And I think that would be ridiculous. But anything less than that, you give it to him. No questions asked.
Right. Yeah. It's again, like you said, Rasul Douglas to the Bills. Don't really know what's happening there, I guess. But wasn't he the guy that was like the UDFA and then like he like came in or whatever and then had he had like 3 picks in 4 games, something like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. He came out of nowhere at one time and had like an insane pick streak or whatever.
Yeah, he's been around a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Yeah.
Right. Oh well. Again, it's really nothing much. I guess that builds their secondary.
Yeah. Well, no, they need the corner help.
Yeah.
Because
but
Trey White's hurt again, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's done for the year. But
yeah,
now you got to think about Khair Alam. You bring in Douglas. What does that mean for Alam? Is he going to get traded before the deadline?
I mean, maybe. Someone might be able to send off like a 5th round pick for him.
Yeah, he's a healthy and active. Washington, personally, I know we're not really that great at developing young corners, but I mean, I wouldn't mind. Forbes replacement. Trade away the third we just got in that Chase Young trade for Khair Alam.
Imagine
Chase Young for Khair Alam. That'd be incredible.
Oh my god! Who's the GM right now in Washington?
Martin Mayhew, but he's not the one making these deals right now. He doesn't really make deals ever. So it's really Ron Rivera.
Oh, it's Ron Rivera?
But Ron Rivera isn't making these deals either. He's probably getting told by Harris to make these deals before they fire him.
What a convoluted chain.
Yeah. We have a GM that's not really a GM. We have a head coach that's not really a head coach. And we have an owner that's not really an owner right now. He's acting as the GM.
It's like some oh god, what's it? It's like some Jim Irsay stuff right there.
Yep. It's like Jerry Jones type stuff. But
yeah.
It's I mean, these were his 2 first big moves as owner, right? Like as a shadow GM or whatever. One of them was great. One of them not so much. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Khair Alam could be named to get moved by the deadline. Doesn't sound like Washington is making another move at the deadline. Doesn't sound like Chicago's making another move.
I don't know. I need Eddie Jackson traded. I am begging the gods. I will take a conditional 7th round pick in 2035.
Yeah, it's like the
I want him off of my football team. I'm so tired.
It's like the William Jackson one. It was like we traded William Jackson for a 2025 like a 2025 pick swap in the 7th round. It was a 7th round pick swap with the Steelers, but not even like a 6th round. It was just 2 7ths pick swap.
Right.
And it only happened if he signed an extension with them or something like that. And he didn't. So we basically just traded him away just to trade him away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm a little shocked Chicago hasn't moved Darnell Mooney as well.
You think they were going to move Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, I just don't see a world where he's on the Bears next year.
Mm.
It's just a situation where he hasn't been productive in a contract year, and considering Poles seems to hate players that he didn't draft, I don't know why he would want to extend Mooney, especially if they think there's a legit shot they can get Marvin Harrison, which I know is wild because you would just make Mooney your 3rd receiver, but he's not going to want to be paid as a 3rd receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're just going to let him walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does sound like the Chase Young pick that we're getting in return is going to be their comp pick, whether it is D'Amico Ryans or whoever. So that's tough. It's not even going to be the top 100. But the Bears are. I feel like I'll be surprised if they make another move. I think again, I didn't really think about Darnell Mooney that much, but let's see. It sounds like the 49ers are closing in on another trade.
Ooh.
Tim Kawaki.
I just saw that. I saw it too.
Wait,
He tweeted that out 20 minutes ago.
wait. He's like, hold on. This might not be real. Hold on.
No, I think he's followed by NFL Films on Twitter. I think he's a real guy.
He's a real dude.
Yeah, Mina Kimes follows him. He's legit.
Okay.
Schefter follows him. Woj follows him.
Yeah.
He's legit.
The Giants are signing quarterback Tommy DeVito to the active roster. This is a league-changing move. League-changing, league-altering
The world's most Italian is now a Giant officially. This is incredible.
We have the first, let's see if I can present this. Hold on. Let's see what this. What were we thinking?
Oh, it goes kind of hard.
Yeah. Montez Sweat in a Bears jersey. I mean, this hurts. Both of these pictures hurt. Like,
dude, I feel so bad for you.
Like, this is. I mean, especially.
And you were excited about the Sweat trade, weren't you?
I mean, yeah, I was hyped. A second round pick. I mean, I was like, no way, this is too good to be true. We got a second. I thought we were gonna get like a third, maybe, possibly even a fourth, and then maybe get like a second for Chase Young. Getting a high second, like, for Sweat was huge. And then 3 hours later, they trade this man for a little, like.
They're terrified of the medicals. That's all it is. Yeah. Everyone is terrified of Chase Young's medicals.
Yeah, it's Yeah, I don't even know why to. He's having the best season of his career.
Absolutely.
Right now, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I've been posting his stats, like updating it every week, and it's just getting better and better. He has like top 5 in pass rush win rate or something like that. He's in the top 10, I believe, for pressures. Like he's impacting.
He's up there in sacks too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He had like 5 in his first 5 games since coming back off of injury. I think at one point, I think he's tied with Montez Sweat for most sacks on the team, and he played one last game. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's like, I saw somebody today after the Niners trade came out talking about how the Niners are really good at rehabilitating edge rushers that. Oh, okay, never mind. They're really good at rehabilitating edge rushers that haven't met expectations and aren't quite where they need to be. Like, are you not watching Chase Young this year? Are you not paying any attention? This is the guy they drafted, the version of Chase Young you got in the first half of the year.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be insane. Like, Chase Young will have more of an impact in San Francisco for the rest of the season than Sweat will have in Chicago. Like,
because the Niners are a good football team.
Yeah. But
also Rasul Douglas for a third.
So Rasul Douglas in a 5th to trade up for a third. That's a fifth, W trade for the Packers.
I don't like that.
That's a solid trade for the Packers.
And I hate it.
For the Bills, I don't really. I mean, I guess you're only moving down 2 rounds, but I feel like Khair Alam is probably gone at this point.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you make that move and you're not at least talking with someone about Khair Alam. Yeah. So Washington, I don't think Washington trades because I think there's been reports that they're done for the day. But I mean, Alam to who's a cornerback needy team, like the Raiders, I guess, or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Have there been any major injuries at corner?
To the Cowboys, maybe?
Yeah, Dallas was apparently in on Jalen and then didn't like the price point, so maybe like a cheaper option there.
And they've been developing young corners there like for the last few years.
They're doing an awesome job at it. Like Deron Bland has been so sick the past 2 years. Oh my God.
Yep. Deron Bland is 1 pick 6 away from tying the record for a season.
Really?
Yeah.
The record's only 4?
Yeah, it's only 4 apparently. And he also has more touchdowns than the guy. Like I saw this one. He has more touchdowns than Tyler Lockett or something like that, and some other solid receivers. But yeah,
Dude, that's the first time I've ever seen a graphic where someone was trying to make a point about how good a player's been and comparing them to like either the entirety of another team or just players that tradition like the whole thing of it being receivers catching touchdown passes versus Bland. That's the first time I've seen something like that and not had a Bears player thrown into it.
yeah.
It's the DJ. I love DJ Moore, dude. That has
DJ
been the
Moore's
one
great.
saving grace is DJ Moore.
When you
Everything
actually
else
use
has
him,
been
when you
horrid.
actually use him.
Well, they've learned you can't just throw to him twice. He's getting the ball like I think he had 8 receptions against the Chargers, 7 or 8.
7? What?
I
Didn't he have a
think.
bad game? I thought he had a bad game against the Chargers.
No, he didn't score, but he had a couple of nice. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of the Raiders game and I'm just dumb.
Hold on. Oh no, yeah,
He
he had
had
4 catches for 55
he had 4
yards.
for 55. That's right. It's not a
Yeah.
bad game.
It's not
Not a great
no.
one, but
Yeah,
look at Cole Kmet with 10 receptions. That's beautiful.
let's see it.
Real football right there.
But yeah, I feel like maybe there's one more trade before the deadline, but I feel like most teams are pretty set with her at. Yeah. Washington, of course, trading away Montez, Sweat, and Chase Young for a second and a third. So Washington goes in this draft right now. A ton of cap space because now you don't have to pay either of them. You've got the guys you're gonna have to definitely re-sign Cam Curl, and then maybe like one of the depth edge rushers, and like a few other depth pieces. But the main one you have to pay a lot of money for is Cam Curl, and then you're gonna have a ton of other money to go ahead out and get whatever free agents you want, which is kind of gonna negate the compensatory picks.
Yeah.
Anyways, but and now you enter the draft with 9 draft picks, two twos and 2 3s, or I guess like 1 3 and kind of like a high 4th. But yeah.
But here's the big question. And I haven't talked to you about this as of late, so I'm curious. Does Washington have their quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up in the air, buddy.
Okay, it's where it was at the start of the season. Got it.
We still don't know. It's like one game. We're 8 games in, and I still don't know what we're doing. So, yeah, we're
Why did I just get tagged in a tweet? What happened?
It's like one game.
Okay, thank
he
God.
plays like a bottom 5 quarterback, and one game he plays like a top 5 quarterback. So, yeah. Okay.
It's like, who was it that posted the Howell and Mahomes comparison?
What is it? Oh, no, it was like NFL on Fox, something like that. I saw that. Oh, it's so funny.
They're setting my boy up, man. I hate it.
Yeah. All right, well, we're 15 minutes away. I got like 5 more minutes, and then I gotta head out. But
all right.
Yeah. The big one seems like Washington was at the center of this trade deadline. Both of their star edge rushers go, and now doesn't look like the Bears are going to do that much. But
very unfortunate. Darnell Mooney's going to be on my team to conclude the season, and then just hit free agency.
Who would have thought the Bears would be buyers at the deadline?
Technically, I guess we are buyers.
Yeah. Yep. So
the quietest buyers ever.
Yeah, no one even thinks like that you're buyers, but
they don't know. Montez is gonna carry.
Ryan Poles is cooking up something that is too big for our brain.
Galaxy brain. We can't comprehend. Exactly. We can't comprehend it.
Yeah. But
we do not have the IQ necessary. This is like some Rick and Morty level brainery right here.
Yep. All right. Well, I gotta head out. Thank you for hopping on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, just right there. Miller Football, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Thanks for hopping on. It's good talking trade deadline with you. Hopefully, you get rid of Eddie Jackson.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
But
manifesting it.
We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Thanks for everyone that tuned into this hour 15-minute thing. It's like the first time going live in like a long time. So that was pretty cool. Hopefully they trade away Brissett in the next 13 minutes. Don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah. All right. That'll be it. If you wanted to see the live reaction to the Chase Young trade, I had it live. I'm gonna post a clip of it on the YouTube later. But
Please do.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. So that it was like within 3 minutes of me going live, it happened. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for all tuning in. See you guys next week. This counts as the podcast episode for this week. I'm not doing anything else. Bye.